Well, happy Holy Week, everyone. Today is Wednesday as we are looking at what happened on this day in history. And real quick, I just want to recap what's happened so far this week. On Sunday, we have Christ's triumphal entry, and he even wept over Jerusalem when he saw it because he knew that they would not accept him as the Messiah, as the King. On Monday, in the morning, as they were headed towards Jerusalem, Jesus cursed a fig tree to show that Israel was not producing the fruit that they were meant to produce. And he cleansed the temple. On Tuesday, Jesus spent almost all day in Jerusalem. He did go outside the city to the Mount of Olives, but he spent all day teaching the people. And as we saw yesterday, as he headed back to Bethany for the night, the religious leaders headed to the high priest and in order to plot how to arrest him. But they were going to wait until after the feast because they did not have a prime opportunity. That all would change today, on Wednesday. This was his last full day as a free man, and this would be his last night in Bethany. Tuesday, he spent all day teaching in Jerusalem, and Wednesday, today, he would probably spend all, or at least much of, the day outside the city in Bethany, just 2 miles away. So this is what it says in Mark 14, verses 3 through 9. And while he was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he was reclining at table, a woman came with an alabaster flask of ointment of pure nard, very costly, and she broke the flask and poured it over his head. There were some who said to themselves indignantly, "Why was the ointment wasted like that? For this ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor." And they scolded her. But Jesus said, "Leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me. For you always have the poor with you, and whenever you want, you can do good for them. But you will not always have me. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body beforehand for burial. And truly I say to you, wherever the gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will be told in memory of her." And that's exactly what we're doing today. We are telling exactly what she did for the Lord Jesus Christ that day. In Luke 22, verses 3 through 6, this is what happened later in the day at some point. Luke 22, 3 through 6. Then Satan entered into Judas, called Iscariot, who was of the number of the 12. He went away and conferred with the chief priests and the officers how he might betray him to them. And they were glad and agreed to give him money. So he consented and sought an opportunity to betray him to them in the absence of a crowd. This had to happen in secret. Tomorrow they will spend most of the day preparing for Passover, which begins at sundown, and it goes all the way to sundown on Friday. And that is when things really begin to pick up speed. Happy Holy Week, everyone. Have a good night.